bum ba dum ba dum bum 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 ba dum ba da da bum da da bum bum bum. Holy diver! No minute. I was gonna see. Well, I only know a few lines to be fair from it.
Yeah, well, I only know.
Holy diver, you're the star of the masquerade.
No need to look so afraid.
Jump on the tiger. You can see yourself with the deep near. Yeah, no, I've lost it already. Yeah, that is the extent. Yeah, I feel like obviously, I feel like if we actually listen to it, it would actually make sense, and
yeah, if we listen to it, we could sing the whole thing.
Yeah, but I think obviously copyright, so we can't quite do that.
How about I write your copy?
I mean, you could if you wanted to.
What the fuck I'm talking about.
I can tell.
Stop fucking with my
anyway,
chair.
no, I'm kind of spinning him around at the moment. It's quite fun.
I don't like it. Just because he's on a beanbag, he thinks he's the shit.
Yeah, exactly. It's very comfortable down here. So obviously we've changed setting now for this new episode. Do you want to introduce the episode, my friend?
The episode is metal. We're going all aspects of metal. We're talking about metal. We're talking about good metal. We're talking about bad metal. We're talking about classic metal. We're talking about ores.
We're talking about Minecraft. We're talking about everything in between. We're really going deep into the world of metals, which is pretty impressive.
I have a question.
Yeah.
I just thought of my head.
Oh, okay.
Are metals rocks?
Are metals rocks?
Is it like if you like polish a rock, does it turn into a metal?
Well, no.
Is it specific ores you need?
No, a metal is just a metal by itself. It's not a rock.
So
What's a rock? What? No. Right, okay. What is your
Minecraft? When you dig up metal, it's like
you have to and then you have to smelt it, don't you? And that's iron. You have to extract the metal from the rock. What do you define as a rock?
A rock.
Yeah, but what is like the actual definition of a rock? So can you
look
it up? Look.
Also, rock is trash apart from good rock.
Wait, don't put that again. Look.
Either really good or really bad.
Look.
Enjoy it.
Yeah, because he's like everyone else in that aspect. Yeah. Oh,
that's fine. Josh told me to turn off the internet. You don't have to use the internet. Is it still recording?
Yeah.
Obviously, it's still recording. We're just kind of waiting. What? He's terrified of the rock.
Okay, the definition of a rock. That's a great way to start the metal podcast.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Well, no, but if we've got to get down and clearly define the differences.
In geology, a rock is any naturally occurring solid mass or aggregate of minerals or mineraloid matter. It is categorized by the minerals included, its chemical composition, and the way in which it is formed. So
it does involve metal. It involves various different substances that make it up. But then you get like limestone and stuff like that. And that's what is that like fucking sand or sandstone? Sandstone, guys.
That's just sand. That doesn't count.
It still forms a rock in a sense, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, you form my cotton, so it is.
Yeah, but that. Now that is a rock. That is just a.
So metal.
It's coming out. All right. I'll tell you what.
From rock was birth metal.
Okay, so we've got metal. They've been around since the start of time, which is is from the beginning. We're at metal now. What's your favorite metal?
Can't lie. Tungsten bangs.
Tungsten. I feel like we need a periodic table for this. I don't know. We should have brought up a periodic table just to see what metals are metal. In the heap, yeah. We're not.
How many trees do you think consist one room?
How have we gone from rock to metal to trees?
Because paper.
Could you make paper into a metal? Because paper's really trying to rip a book right is very different. Like paper in itself is as strong as metal and malleable.
Trying to cut a book, not as bad, I'd say.
I don't know because it depends. It depends. No, but it depends what metal. Because tin foil is just very, very fine metal. It is, yeah. So it depends how.
I feel like books are kind of like paper's just paper. I feel like there's not really much. There's not as much differing between aluminium and like iron as there is with books and shit like that.
But how do you know? Because there is obvious differing because they're different elements. That's the point. Books are all the same then. Books because they're all made out of the same thing. What are you trying to say?
What are you trying to say?
What am I? I don't know what I'm trying to say. I'm just saying. That metal's metal. It's just kind of.
All right. Okay.
It's its own thing, you know.
Do you want to start with the chronology?
Oh, just
and skip ahead from the Bronze Age, Iron Age, all the way
Silver Age, Gold Age
to the start of metal music.
The gold. Oh, we already skipping to that.
I'm bored.
I thought. No, I was. You have to come on. We got to come up with
what's
more.
Your favorite? What's your
What's
favorite
mine?
metal?
Because I've asked several people before this, and they like it's like steel is their favorite metal or something like that.
Bro, that's
I know. I
the
said it to my dad, and he was just like, "That was boring as fuck," and I was like.
Stainless, fair enough. Steel on its own.
Still, it's very important. I remember the.
If you want to say.
Yeah,
wait. What's the difference between a metal and an alloy?
Alloy is a combination of metals. It's different metals. Like you combine different metals to form like, I don't know, something alloy. Like steel is a mix between iron and tin. Yeah, thank you. So
is that true?
Yeah, well, I don't know. Someone look it up, please. It is, yeah. So that's what makes an alloy.
What's the big alloy with the most amount of metals in it?
Well, I guess you could just combine all the different metals into it. I'm gonna ignore every sound made by these fuckers' nose.
Explain what just happened.
So I just spilt some cider out of my metal can. Can I just point that out? What is this?
It's an alloy.
It's an alloy. What's my shirt? Oh,
That's
we're gonna get around. We have to build this up. Oh,
Say it into the mic so the world can hear that you're fucking shit.
In some kind of scientific bartering fucking thing, America agreed that the proper pronunciation for aluminium is aluminium instead of aluminum.
Oh.
And there's a fun fact for you.
so what? Wait. So the Americans admitted that they were wrong themselves.
Yes.
Oh, that's.
There was probably
that's
threat of
impressive.
nuclear war involved.
Oh, honestly, they must have they must have committed to that. That's probably why they stormed the White House. To be fair, they found out that they just said fucking aluminium wrong. To be fair, I can't even pronounce aluminium. Aluminium.
Aluminium. Oh, Frankie's calling. Someone can pick this up.
We have to bleep these fucking names out.
I'm gonna bleep you in the mouth. Anyway,
With your iron
metal.
ore.
With my iron ore.
With your iron ore.
You know what? You know what? Also, ore is
What?
boat.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ore for boat.
Oh! It took me a while to get that. But an ore's made of wood.
Yeah, but it's
Or
called-
plastic.
it's called an ore.
But it's a bad joke.
That wasn't a joke. That was a statement. That's how my mind works.
Is it spelt the same?
No, it's O-A-R and then O-R-E.
Wow, that makes so much difference.
I know.
Oh no, it does. Oh yeah, no, it is spelled different. Yeah, I
it's
forgot
spelled
about that.
different.
Took me a while to actually think about that.
This is the
That's
most boring shit ever.
no,
okay?
look. Okay, right. We can...
Okay.
So that's our
Can we
favorite
just,
metals
like,
done.
Come on to metal now.
Yes.
I'm done with this all.
You want to
business.
move on from okay. So we're getting on to probably the main reason why we want to talk about this, and it is heavy metal,
There's someone timing
the
this.
music.
Yes, the music.
Yeah, the famous music. We have no idea what we're gonna say. Look, obviously it doesn't matter.
Yeah, really.
But heavy metal is has become a large part of my life for a good many years.
Well, yeah, he's
ever
the
since-
man that introduced me to metal.
Yeah, exactly. Because I remember trying to get him into it, and he just dismissed it immediately. And I was thinking,
I like Childish Gambino.
oh yeah,
I still do, but also I know.
no, but it was like I remember trying to get a lovely friend Kai into it, and he just kind of dismissed it, and he was like, oh, yeah, it's not really my thing, and all that kind of thing. I remember him like showing him some Maiden and sending him some Maiden songs because that's your classic kind of. That's how I got into it, and like Run to the Hills and that kind of thing, and it just made me really love it basically without even like trying. Because my dad's also a big fan, but
He's a metal drummer, right?
yeah, he is a metal drummer. I mean, he's in any kind of drummer, as most drummers
Does
are.
he have a double kick?
No, because he doesn't. No, because so basically how he used to practice, up in Leicestershire, he used to play to like Metallica and stuff like that, which is all about double kick. But he used to just have a single kick, and apparently they could hear him for like 3 miles away, and stuff like that when he used to practice. He like he stuck like a speaker behind, like a massive fat speaker just behind him, and just blast it and stuff like that, which I've always found very, very cool.
The story I remember is the one where he shook the roof. He like broke the roof.
Yeah, he did break the roof. He did.
He broke the roof of like a town hall or something.
Yeah, no, they play. Well, he was because obviously he was playing I don't know, like a John Bonham kind of solo from Led Zeppelin, obviously, and he did it, and obviously he broke the roof of a town hall with his band, which I think is probably one of the coolest things you could probably do as a band. Break something with your with your sonic magnitude. But anyway,
That's the best metal.
yeah.
That's some real shit.
No, that is some real shit. That's true power right there. Ability to break stuff in a nice way, obviously, not in a purposeful fuck everyone way, but also in a purposeful fuck everyone way. So anyway, back to. So I sent Kai some suggestions like the Trooper and stuff like that, and he wasn't really into it.
With that, when you sent me that kind of stuff, I was like,
It was a good few years ago
yeah,
now, but
I wasn't really into that kind of stuff. Like I was into like kind of
21 Pilots.
Like yeah, I was
21 Pilots.
it was like 21 Pilots, like kind of laid back.
Pale Royal or whatever. What are they? Yeah. No,
that
it's
was like the street Power Royale.
Power Royale.
Listen to one song of
Pretty
theirs.
sure they're on a tour
They
right now
were
or
like
something.
emo- It was just like emo stuff. That was the heaviest I got, and then which is nothing. And then I got pissed, and then I don't know. I just got into punk after that. I was in like a weird punk kind of.
He was angry, but
I
not.
got quite angry, and then I was like, I'm into the heavy shit, and then like even then I still like listened to a bit of like kind of the classic stuff, and I was like, this isn't good enough. This isn't heavy enough because I want clashing metal and
You want actual.
screaming and fucking violence, and then I listened to that kind of stuff for a good long time, and then then I got into like metal, like kind of newer metal, like Slipknot and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then from there I transferred into the other branches.
Yeah, you went.
Yeah.
See, you did more of a top-down approach
Yeah, definitely.
to me, because I definitely remember. Because I remember trying to get into Maiden, and I didn't like it the first time I listened to it. And then I asked my dad for some Metallica songs, and I listened to it, and it was just a brick wall. I couldn't get any of it. It just didn't hit me the way it did. But I was still really into Maiden, so I just listened to Maiden all the time. I listened to every single album I could listen to over and over, like every day from school and just any point, because it just gave me. I just really, really appreciated the music behind it. I think because the vocals in metal, as incredible as they can be, they are very difficult. Like Bruce Dickinson's voice it's opera. It's
one of the most, like, not only it's like the founding voices of it, but it's also like one of the most unique still to this day. Like it's his voice was
even after some cancer, but huh?
Oh, I'm being too quiet. How's that? Is that alright? Alright, do I just speak? Anyway, yeah.
Anyway,
sorry.
yeah.
He was. His voice is just—it's fucking incredible. I don't know. He's got that operatic range, and there's just
And the stage presence, but even on the
Yeah.
recorded version, you can feel it.
yeah, definitely.
And you feel it there in your face, and it's very powerful. But also, like, I know some of my friends found it quite difficult to pass that because it sounded like he was screaming, but because his register was so high, it I mean, you could understand it, but it's
Powerful, it was
set
powerful,
you up.
high-pitched singing.
I don't know what else I got into after that. It was a range of things because it took me, because I think I ended up going back to certain songs and stuff like that, and so especially more thrash and stuff like that. It took me a while to really appreciate, especially like Metallica, and I mean Megadeth. I've only started recently, really loving, because they're just
Oh my
they're just probably ever since I've actually started trying to
Yeah, you learn
learn the song.
weird, I don't know.
I've learned like Tornadoes of Soul and
You know the bit from I'm dumb. It's like it's the best. It's the one.
what are you talking about? Holy Wars.
Yeah.
You talking about the Spanish guitar solo?
Yeah, that bit.
How were you going to be racist about
I was
that?
gonna say something like Middle Eastern, and it wasn't.
Well, no, but that was the point.
Yeah.
That was the tone.
Yeah.
But even though that song is about the Troubles in Ireland.
Really?
Yeah, it's about it was
I
about.
thought it was about like.
No, that's
fucking
what
Crusades
that's
or
what I
some shit.
thought. That's what I thought first, but actually no, it is actually about the Middle East. No, not the Middle. The Troubles.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, fair enough.
And the
Maybe it was,
Catholics
yeah,
and
that makes
Protestants
sense.
and
Yeah.
all that kind of jazz. That
That actually makes a lot more sense.
it does. Brother will kill brother. Spill a blood across this land. That kind of thing. Which I mean, you can apply that to a lot of
Well, I mean,
different
You can
scenarios.
just apply it to humanity.
You generally can. I mean, the Crusades. That was the first thing I thought of. I know it makes a lot of sense, but yeah. So it took me a while to get into the more thrashy stuff. I really am not a big fan of Slayer and stuff like that because it gets quite boring to me. Like there's you want to go fast, but you also want to make the most endearing music you can, and that's the thing about thrash. It does sometimes lose that like just the subgenre of thrash because it loses its purpose a bit, and it's all about just going fast. Oh my god, it's the Holocaust kind of thing.
I mean, see, that's the thing. I don't listen to shit like I don't listen
Yeah.
to like the only things like the only thrash I really listen to is like Zentrix or Megadeth, I guess. Barely, kind of, yeah, but yeah, I mean, because Zentrix are like they're fucking amazing.
Zentrix are pretty cool. Well, no, but they're cool. But that whole there, because obviously in thrash you've got the big four, which are Metallica, Megadeth, Anthrax, and Slayer. Anthrax and Slayer, I'm not a big fan. Anthrax because they're just more like they just not very flushed out, and they just get a bit boring and stuff like that. They're like their songs are just what everyone else did and stuff like that. It's because they toured in like the 80s. They toured with Metallica and they helped them out and stuff like that when they were just living on the streets. And they needed to.
Which one of those ones?
I mean, probably. I mean, they did like in 2010. They did like a show together. Like the Big Four did a show together and stuff like that.
Oh, really?
Yeah. In Hungary or something like that. They all got together and played "Am I Evil," which is a Diamond Head cover, which Metallica covered in "Ride the Lightning," and they all just got together and they just played together. Which is like the first time they all got together and played, which must have been amazing. And like whenever Slayer plays "Rain and Blood," it always rains. And it's just, it's like, it's yeah, no, it's just really cool, but, yeah, so, Big Four doing their thing, but then you've got all those other thrashy bands, like, Zentrix and stuff like that, and Testament and Exodus. Exodus was, Kirk Hammett's, Metallica's lead guitarist, his old band, and apparently there's a story of when he went to them, and he told them, yeah, no, they all got really drunk, apparently. And he just told them, oh, yeah, no, I'm joining Metallica. And they all poured beer on him and stuff like that. And he's just like, oh, it's fair enough. But,
No, to be fair, if one of your, like band members was like, yo, I got booked by a band that's fucking incredible, that's, like, better than us. I mean, I'd be sad, but you want to keep that connection, you know what I mean?
yeah, but this is the strange thing, because it all feels quite disconnected between those two, because Metallica are like uber successful. The Black Album was one of the most successful albums ever.
I think, yeah.
One of the most successful. It's been in like the top 200 since its release in 1991. It is
Well, yeah, that's
top, and it also in terms of production, especially for metal, it was huge because production in rock and stuff like that has never been at the forefront of being good. It's nowhere like in terms of hip hop and stuff like that. It's instead of like making beats and stuff like that, it's very much someone sitting there mixing it and telling them, oh, that's a bit shit or something like that. It's more.
I feel like it's one of the last bastions of like live music, like proper band. Like it's cool that like anyone can make music now, and it's even more true for like bands and everything like that. But I feel like it's just I was how many like actual bands that are really uber famous do you like know? I know that wasn't even the case back then as well, but like I don't know. It's just I feel like metal's just I don't know keeping that kind of stuff because metal for me is like the pinnacle of technicality of what you can do with the instruments that you have.
Well, bar classical, but.
Well, yeah, but I mean, yeah, that's true. But classical and metal use different instruments.
Well, no, they use different, but they're actually very, very similar. They're incredibly similar.
True.
The composition, the way it's sound. Why do you think orchestras are massive? Like, why do you think you have about 15 different cello players and 15 different violins? Because it's supposed to be big. It's supposed to create a huge sound and be impressive and be immense. That's what metal does, but it does it in a. Oh wait, we've got like three. Well, I mean, Maiden's got 3 guitarists, and so that's why they tend to sound very operatic. It makes up exactly. It makes up with obviously because it's electronic, obviously. Yeah. So it's.
And I mean, obviously classical with an orchestra will never be as, you can't get 5 dudes in a basement sounding as like, just bombastic and technical as a fucking orchestra just because of like time signature alone and everything like that. Even like Beethoven, like that guy made music for the masses. It was like what was it? The Symphony No. 5 was like
bum 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 bum.
That was like that was just made for like just regular people.
Yeah.
And there's a reason. It's a very simple but effective notes, which is still very fucking tricky to this.
It's just percussiveness, and that's it's the rhythm. That's what makes metal is the rhythm and the punch that comes along with it. That's why the bands that utilize the drummer so well, like Gojira, which is one of which is one of our favorite bands ever, and we're actually seeing them next year. And I really can't. They cancelled this year because of fucking COVID. I hate.
I'm kind of glad though because we got our A levels.
Yeah. 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 He's not wrong. He's shit. But that doesn't stop me. I was very tempted to go see Meshuggah and Zealand Ardor at the Royal Albert Hall because to be fair though, we can't talk because we're going to Download Festival, otherwise used to be known as Monsters of Rock. Now it's Download halfway through, which is very looking forward to. Even though
we're gonna leave on Sunday, right?
Yeah, we're leaving on Sunday. We're not gonna watch Korn. Well, yeah, but we're gonna miss Korn though.
Know, that's gonna be quite sad.
Korn yeah, but the point of Korn, I don't think they're very good.
But I feel like live they'd be quite good.
But the point of them live is they're supposed to be like the mosh pits are supposed to be crazy, like fucking, like mad, and like everyone beating, well not beating the shit out of you on purpose, but definitely.
But one of my favorite things about the metal like community and like concerts and stuff is the fact that there is that kind of etiquette about having a mosh pit. Oh shit. Who's that? Oh, sorry. Anyway, but yeah, having that community where if someone falls over, like 5 people crowd around them and people help them.
Well, remember we went to see Lorna Shore and this guy dropped his phone, didn't he? And then everyone just crowded him to pick it up. I dropped my glasses at like Basque, and everyone just like helps you up and stuff like that, and helps.
That's what I like about it, and I think when it gets to that kind of thing, it's like I like at Peggy and stuff, right? Like that mosh pit was like. It was like the kind of I hate to use the word etiquette, but like that kind of thing wasn't there, and people just like had their elbows like out in the people's faces, and they were like just like fucking. There was like fucking.
Yeah, but I guess it's because
it's
not that kind of crazy thing though. I don't think
it wasn't crazy, but everyone was going crazy.
Well, I mean, kinda, but it's that standard. Let's all jump up and down and move as a group together. which is cool. It's cool to look at, but it's not like
I don't know. It's
mosh.
I just it's with metal communities at live shows. I feel like there's always that kind of, you're always just you're there to fuck each other up and help and like fuck around and go fucking crazy. But also, if someone falls over, you're gonna help them up because that's just how it's done. And I don't know what Korn's like as well, but I feel like if it went too crazy,
apparently people like came like this. I think they played Woodstock and people like came out and just like with broken ribs and stuff like that.
Yeah, see, as much as I'd,
there's so many stories of people breaking their legs and stuff. No, just breaking their
I'm
backs.
there for the music as well as the
stuff
mosh
like
pit,
that, which is a
if
bit
I can't
much.
enjoy it properly.
Haven't people died at like Slipknot concerts though?
Quite a few, in the early, see this is the thing, when a band is like small, and they're starting in the more club kind of scene that every band starts at in some way. That's where you get the stories of people going fucking nuts and beating the shit out of people and stuff like the guitar, like even it's quite sad, but the guitarist of Pantera, Dimebag Darrell, because they had quite a complicated history because their singer Phil Anselmo got heavily addicted to heroin because he had a slip disc in his back after years and years of very intense performances with them, and obviously the headbanging does you in. Headbanging really hurts after a while. It's evil. Like a good
is fucking.
No, like I remember after I saw Slipknot and I had to jump into my pants because I was like, I can't bend over. It hurts too much. But so him and his brother Vinny Paul, right, the drummer of Pantera, went off and formed this band called the Dillinger Escape Plan. They were playing a show, somewhere in Texas. So they're a Texas band, and they're just like that. And then this guy just got up to the stage and just shot him, and shot about 5 other people, and just killed him. Because he thought that the band, I don't know, he was mentally ill and he thought that.
Was it like devil music kind of shit?
Well, kind of. He thought the band was talking to him. Well, there's plenty of stories, but he just got up there and just shot him with a shotgun and stuff like that.
That's really sad.
Just killed him, and that's like clubs get brutal. I mean, apparently there's stories of like Pantera playing a club show. This guy brought a knife in and started like trying to stab him, and Phil was just like, just kill him. It does get pretty intense. That's the only issue is obviously
the adrenaline's there.
Yeah, obviously generally every show you go to is nice and orderly, especially with the older bands because Mess is a very generational thing. It's gone through. It's been around for about 40 years, ever since like Sabbath and like Priest and the classic new wave of British heavy metal. It's always been like it's a very generation. Like even Slipknot fans, most of them when they got into them in the 90s with their first album in 1999, Slipknot self-titled, they got into it's like they've obviously aged because Slipknot are shit at putting out albums for numerous reasons. Yeah. And they've made a terrible new album as well. But that's that. Well, I mean,
no, it wasn't terrible. It was just extremely mid.
It wasn't interesting. It's We Are Not Your Kind, which so Unsainted's a good song.
Unsainted, I like Unsainted.
I can't think of any because there's like other songs called like The Orphan, which is a bit male, like Not Long for This World and stuff like that. It's just quite mid kind of stuff that no one's looking for it right now.
It's because they promised like the last 2 albums, they promised it would be the heaviest, and it wasn't because their artistic direction has changed because they've gotten older.
And they're not as angry as they were.
Make fucking angry music. You don't
just make good music.
I know your fans are angry because like some of them are younger. Some of them are still angry, but like if you're not angry, you don't have to like do something you're not because that would just make bad music. Make something that you want to make, even if you lose fans.
You can just do what you want to do, and obviously it's more expensive, and it is more expensive. Spiders on that new album, is obviously a clean version. That is a good song, and it is more experimental, but like that's like the only song like that on that album.
Yeah.
For that one, it's just a bit. It's a bit meh.
It's just it's sad. I know because I know they are fucking true artists. They make what they want to make, but that time they just I feel like they just had it in their heads that they needed to be a certain.
I don't know. I feel
was
like the
just
fact
like,
that
you
like
know.
true artists and stuff. I know Slipknot has always been a bit of a weird, iffy. Just like yes, I really got into them maybe because I was angry and stuff like that. And it just talked to me, and it was a bit because it got into be quite self-hating with like Corey Taylor being
Yeah.
bullied and like he OD'd on like heroin or something like that, and they chucked him in a trash can, and he just woke up and he was like, "What the fuck am I doing?" and that kind of thing. And it does speak to you at a certain age, but the music when you listen to it, it's just it does get in elements a bit boring. I've just kind of gone off it. It's a very for me, it was a bit of a seasonal thing. I still love some of their songs, but it's not
personally though. I find obviously you grow. That's what Slipknot's about, in my opinion.
Yeah.
know, it's a band for a certain stage point in your life that everyone goes through, but it's the kind of thing that, despite that, and even because of it, that's what makes them real for me, because people feel it to that degree. That's not something that is like, that's not the kind of thing where it's like, yeah, you're boring, you do kind of samey stuff. But that's the kind of thing you realize after you fucking are heavily invested in them.
yeah.
And after they truly speak to you from the music they're making.
And they did,
and they don't really do that to me anymore, but they did.
Yeah, but they did.
And
yeah,
that's what I like. That's what I appreciate, and that's what is in my
yeah, and they did. They came into my life, but obviously it took me a long time to get into Slipknot. Coming back to the thing, it was just but like the good thing about Slipknot is they they show to more commercial audiences the harder and heavier side of metal, but it can still be
true.
digestible. Because Corey's vocals are harsh, but they're not. You could understand what he's saying.
Yeah, which
it's
is
not
not
him
the
sounding
case
like a
for-
gecko being stabbed 20 times. It's like you can understand what he's saying, but it's still really harsh. Same with Phil Anselmo from Pantera. It's like they're still really harsh vocals, but you can understand them. But I mean, you could say I'm sure if I listen to Cannibal Corpse enough, I can understand the lyrics, because they are lyrics. They are lyrics. They're impossible to sound.
They are words.
Technically,
that
they
were
are
said.
words. But eventually, I'm sure, because it's a big progression. It's in metal. It's a big progression to get to certain. I mean, with you again, you were the top down approach.
That's the thing. I was top down, but I came in in the middle. Like, even because even with punk, the heaviest punk I listened to, I listened to a lot of new punk. It wasn't like old school punk. It was
like Show Me the Body.
It was
and
like
stuff.
Show Me the Body, and then like some H090909 and stuff like that, where it's like new punk, where they're just kind of like, there's not that etiquette at shows that you just like get beat the shit out of.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
about that kind of violence and pure like just angst.
Aggression and
And it was like, and even then that was nowhere near as heavy as like metal goes. Metal, I came in at the shit that like Show Me the Body and like H0909 were making were like they were like the same vibe, like heaviness as Slipknot, but they just used kind of weird as shit, because they were just kind of like, because what I appreciate about them was they were like, fuck it, punk is whatever the fuck I want, because that's what punk is. So then they just kind of did some weirdo shit, like technically, like there's a really good album that H090909 made, which was like cyber warfare, I think that's what it's called, but it was just about a bunch of cyber shit, and it was like heavy, like kind of techno based shit on a punk album, which was like cool, because it's like, and he was just saying like, you can't, the whole point of punk is that I'm not gonna do what you tell me to do.
well, it's not
even
exactly
with the punk
the
community.
Clash, is it? It's not like.
Exactly. And that's when I came in, and so I went down to the classics, and then now I'm kind of on the upward turn towards, because ever since we saw Lorna Shore, I've just been like,
he's been heavily into death metal and stuff like
Yeah.
that, which is I'm getting there, but it took me a long. But the thing about metal and punk is metal is about the controlled aggression in it. It is very controlled aggression.
very controlled.
It's hitting those points of pure.
it is pure control.
Yeah, it is
pure
about control, because
of
you
your
listen to
instrument.
some of the best metal songs have like some of the cleanest, like
Yeah.
Fade to Black, by Metallica. Like all those songs have those clean bits, and then it goes into the heavy bit. And some of all the best metal songs have a clean bit, and
I'd say the whole thing's very clean. It's just that when they all mesh together, or the effects they put on the guitars, everything. Like, I feel like the metal bands, like, the amount of times they practice, it's just like every time they play the song, they play it like they must play it perfectly. With time signatures like Tool, there's no way you can fuck up on that.
Don't.
No,
well, I mean, if you fuck up on that, then you fuck up the whole song. Yeah.
So the amount of times you need to get that perfect, it just has to happen, right?
Yeah. Well, it's just consistent practice, because there's a big push in metal for technicality and stuff like that. But I guess then it comes, especially during the 80s and stuff like that, you have obviously the underground thrash scene and stuff like that, and the beginnings of like the first wave of black metal, which is this band called Venom, who like kind of started this British band who because the new wave of British heavy metal bands were all about talking about Satan, not being Satan, and that kind of thing. It revolves around a lot around the devil, because obviously it was a big taboo thing, and people
it's like, fuck you, I'm going to talk about it.
Exactly.
It's part
Yeah, it's interesting. It's like Jimmy Page from Led Zeppelin being interested in all the black magic and kind of thing. He never practiced it, but he just found it very interesting. It was very interesting too. It's like that whole myth of if you play Stairway to Heaven backwards, it's it's like talking to the devil or some shit.
they had that with the Pokemon theme song.
Yeah, it's like people come up with that bullshit, and it's just like,
bro, it's fucking, if you believe in God, you believe in the devil. Fucking just like patting that, like, the devil's there, the God's there. It's fucking Pokemon. It's fucking metal.
Exactly.
It is, man.
Whereas black metal took that and were just like, no, we are the devil. We are Satanists. And a lot of the more like Scandinavian
that's
heavy,
that's when
like
that
black
spun off,
metal,
and it
that was like old interviews of like Mayhem and stuff like that, and Celtic Frost and stuff like that. There was a big thing around them being like, oh no, the Christians came here and they destroyed everything, so we must hate them and all that kind of thing. Which is potentially reasonable, but
to be fair, it goes every way possible, because look at how they treated the monks.
Yeah,
I mean? Like, it just goes all way, like Crusades, how the Vikings treated monks. It's like it's just humans fucking up humans, and it like God, devil, be whatever. Just be fucking good.
Exactly.
You can do anything in the name of anything,
Yeah.
and it would just it doesn't matter. Everything's objective.
Yeah. But anyway, with the whole that underground 80s kind of metal scene, there was also the glam metal scene, which is
sorry, that was
everything. The glam, which is it's like Rat and Wasp and Bon Jovi and all that fucking.
No, I mean,
because metal turned into something like it, because it was big drums, big hair.
They were ballads. They were power ballads.
Like Poison, Every Rogue, Motley fucking Crue, fucking Motley Crue, fucking. They are not. They are not laying. They are not laying. They were.
Come here, I need a Wes. Alright, Tommy's gonna step in, even though he's a fucking knows fuck all about it.
I'm a fucking piece of shit. I'm a blank slate.
But when you got the glam scene coming in, and it was all big, puffed up, drugs, sex, a lot of misogyny. All the songs are just.
What was the song the Bon Jovi song that we used to listen to all the time?
What?
There was that Bon Jovi song that we got
You
really
Give
obsessed
Love
with.
a Bad Name.
Yeah, we listened to that song.
And then it's
fucking shit.
no, it's because
I stand by that decision. That song's a banger.
Bon Jovi, I would say, is the exception, because I don't think they're that bad. They were just because it's just pop metal. It's just like I mean, they were bad, but they weren't atrocious. They were all of them obviously had a knack for writing popular songs, which is always a very credible thing.
I mean, you've got to give, I don't know, to some degree, like being able to appeal to loads of people is a skill in itself.
Yeah. Well, it blew up metal in a way, but it didn't.
It's too far. For me, it's too far like Bon Jovi is too far from actual metal.
Yeah,
for that to be like a point of getting into metal.
Well, I
think
it's
the black.
glam metal.
I think that like I feel like Hendrix and then Black Sabbath is like the natural entry points.
Definitely. Because when I was younger, I used to listen to a lot of Hendrix and Zeppelin and Sabbath and that kind of thing.
I mean,
it was just around, and it introduces you to heavier styles and very expressive, very guitar rhythm driven.
Oh God, yeah.
styles.
I mean, but Hendrix obviously isn't metal, but like to some degree, throughout history, that like for me, the evolution of metal came from people who were searching for a heavier sound.
Yeah.
And in like the 50s and 60s, that came from like surf rock, and then you've got Hendrix.
Well, you've got it's like the Kinks and the whoever fucking like slashed his speakers and that gave that distorted sound. It was trying to hunt for that harsher sound.
Well, even like a track like Helter Skelter by the Beatles.
Yeah. Well,
which was like like trying to make a song that's heavier than the Who.
Yeah.
That is like, it's obviously not metal, but I guess it's kind of a point in the road.
Yeah, it was a push to get progressively heavier and heavier. Like Lemmy Kilmister from Motorhead always says that the Beatles is like the biggest influence on him.
Yeah.
Because it's obviously, I mean, it's the Beatles be the Beatles. They have influenced music in so many ways. There's no point really talking about it because everyone's
do
already
a whole
talked about
podcast on
it.
the
You could
Beatles.
probably do a whole podcast.
Oh, you could
on-
do like a whole podcast series.
Yeah,
on them.
exactly. You could talk about them.
Thank you, Tommy. I'm sorry I said these mean things to you.
It's okay, Kai.
For-
This is a podcast that's about forgiveness and positivity. You heard it here first.
yeah, all that good shit. But
All that good shit.
all that good- but anyway, back to the real, the real meaning.
Fuck the Beatles. We're here to talk
No,
about death metal.
But But the whole thing with glam metal and stuff like that, it got so bloated and was just bullshit. And
Well, it just wasn't doing much after the initial wave of it. It wasn't really doing much else.
Well, it just got very popular
Yeah.
and it got an oversaturation. It was just like, and then you get to the late 80s, early 90s with Guns N' Roses. I don't like Guns N' Roses.
I hate Guns N' Roses.
I really don't like
Fuck
Guns N'
Guns N'
Roses.
Roses.
Slash is a good guitarist. Everyone else was shit. I've never heard a worse bassist and drummer in my entire life.
And the lead fucking.
And
Jesus.
Axl Rose is just a
one of
bastard.
the biggest cunts on the entire planet.
He was just an idiot, but honestly, he was technically on top of the world at that point, so he could be a cunt and get away with it.
No, but he can be a cunt and also be a cunt, and you're also a cunt.
I mean,
He's a cunt.
yeah. This is
fuck
the
you,
thing.
Axl
I mean,
Rose.
have you seen him on tour recently? He's looking like a fucking penguin times 10 with type 4 diabetes. He's just like. So is Vince Neil of fucking Motley Crue. They're all just very. It's because of all the cocaine. But I mean, so does
Type 4.
fucking Murray from Iron Maiden also is looking pretty bad. I mean.
Well, like, no, to be fair, that band is ancient. How long have they been around?
Oh no!
Bro,
So
Bruce has got half a tongue.
So he does. No, but Nico, the drummer, is like the oldest, is like 66. And they're still
Lord.
fucking.
Lord, my man can get. He's got a pension. He's
No.
past. He's literally a senior citizen.
No, he's doing a great job. But
Incredible.
I can't wait to fucking see them at download. It's like anyway, no, we can't. We'll go to that in a second. But
Wait, Fred, are you excited to see Kiss?
I'm not. Oh, don't talk to him about fucking Kiss. See, Kiss though, I would know. It's like you get to the point where do you ever wish for a band not to exist? No, you wouldn't, because the fact is, Kiss was such a big,
I think Kiss.
big
Kiss are cool.
influence. No, but Kiss was such a massive influence on so many of the bands.
I don't like
you
the
and
music,
me,
but yeah,
like Love
exactly,
Now.
yeah.
They were such a big, because they were like the definition of rock and roll and what they portrayed. It was the massive live shows.
Yeah,
The sing-along kind of thing.
It was grandiose. You know, it was about the showmanship.
And Gene Simmons being an absolute twat, who was the bassist and the biggest womanizer you'll ever meet in your entire life.
You know, if you're in Kiss, you can get away with fucking murder.
Yeah, well, that's not a good thing. But
It is what it is. That's the capitalist society.
but anyway, back to the whole glam metal thing. So obviously, getting all bloated. Then comes the 90s, and then you get the whole backlash with grunge. grunge.
See,
The
I'm
introduction of grunge, and obviously the big four of grunge: Pearl Jam, Soundgarden, Nirvana, Alice in Chains. You get that whole fuck it, do it yourself attitude, like punk was in the 70s, but in a whole. But
I'm an intellectual grunge enjoyer.
But instead it's in America and it's in Seattle and it's like
Well, yeah,
bands, like working together and stuff like that and doing and being cool apart from Nirvana. But
Nirvana's fucking awesome. Fuck off. Look, I know Nirvana. Kind of cringy, bit weird, whatever.
I wouldn't say no. I wouldn't say no. They're not cringy. I would not
I don't
say
find them cringy,
none
but-
of the bands aren't cringy. I'm not saying they're cringy. I'm just saying.
I know
they're
you're
just
saying
not
they're
very
shit.
good.
Yes, okay,
They're
effectively,
just, yeah.
No, I think
None of them are cringy because the way they portray their emotions is perfect. It's always on their sleeve and it's always in your face.
It's
and
the
it's
most
like,
honest.
I mean,
like,
when
you
people
know.
heard "fucking smells like Teen Spirit," like no one could understand what Kirk was saying.
Well, it's because
Like-
Teen Spirit was a woman's deodorant.
Yeah.
And I think he used to wear it, or I don't know. He got bullied because he used to hang out with girls or something. I don't know. But he used
Some
to,
weird
yeah.
bullshit.
So they said he smelled like Team Spirit, and then he made that song. I think so. That's like, you know, it's all. It's just it's a very very honest genre. It's like
It is.
and that's why I like that. I'm not someone.
Well, it's very on it. Well,
I like subtext, but realistically, I also like music where they just say shit that isn't poetic, it's not extravagant. They just fucking say what's on their minds,
Which
regardless of how shit it is.
it's very respect. That's why I like Alice in Chains because the whole Dirt
Alice in
album.
Chains is amazing. Dirt,
Dirt, the whole
fuck
Dirt album is
me.
literally just about Lane Stanley being heavily addicted to drugs.
Yeah.
All that kind of thing. And you get 9 Inch Nails, also about the main guy, Trent Reznor,
Oh, yeah.
being heavily addicted to drugs and
Johnny
stuff
Cash
like that. And
came in
Johnny
with-
Cash did his thing. But, I'm just gonna gloss over that. But, because
country
grunge was the
episode.
new, grunge became the new cool in the 90s. Especially the Soundgarden, Black Hole Sun, everything like that. It's fucking brilliant. It is brilliant, and I can't deny that. But like,
Well, yeah, Pearl Jam, Alice in Chains, and Soundgarden, literally incredible bands, and I love Nirvana as well. I mean, they're
but
all,
they
Nirvana
appeal.
are different. They're different. They're a different breed from those other.
They
bands.
are very different. They're a lot more straightforward,
They're,
and
I'd
they were
say they're more
trying.
punky than like.
They
those
are
other
a
ones,
lot more
which is
punky.
It's why I like them. I mean, I like all those bands a lot, but I'd say Nirvana hits for me because as a bastard piece of shit punk enjoyer.
Well, it's just straightforward. It gets to the point. It gets to the
yeah,
point.
Exactly.
Whereas
Exactly.
more of obviously a metal lover, Alice in Chains and Pearl Jam and Soundgarden always hit more for me because they always they speak to me in a different way because like Pearl Jam and stuff like that were definitely more musically, technically better musicians and they tried
that's
to be,
true.
and they
No, I mean,
they had
Nirvana
more of
doesn't
it.
try to
They
prove
they didn't
that.
neglect being. They neglected the production because if you listen
that's
to
just
any
grunge.
if you listen to if you have a well produced grunge album, it's not a grunge album. It's not a grunge album.
That's definitely
It's
true.
like it's got to have that muddy sound, which they all portray in each very interesting ways. But it's all inspired by metal. Like the tuning on guitar is like drop C sharp, which is basically drop D, but all the notes are like dropped on like flat. So it's like you have drop D, so you tune the lowest string down to drop D, obviously, and then you tune that and every other string down a half step, so it's all flat. So D flat and then A flat and that kind of thing. So that gives it that even heavier sound without doing
Without
something
changing the
ridiculous,
notation, yeah.
which is very just brings very very fast sound. And Black Sabbath were the main kind of engineers of that and the pioneers of drop tuning, because there's like an interview of people asking like Tony Iommi just like, we're trying to play your songs, we don't know how to play your songs, what is it? And he's just like, it's in a different tuning, and they're like, what the fuck? You've lied to us all this time.
Well, yeah,
But,
I mean, you know, Drop D. That's the only reason I know about Drop D is because of you.
Well, it's only because it's like the easiest tuning to just come up with a fat sound and play some random bullshit power chords and it'll sound nice. And that is
Alright.
that is what
That is what's up.
turns into. That's what fucking. That's what our band is.
Yeah, that's what the Shingle, that's what the
This
Shingle
is-
Puppets. We are.
I'll try to stray away from talking about the Shingle Puppets. Why not?
I mean, yeah, as in the Shingle Puppets, the cool band that I know,
the cool
the neighbor
that
band.
We
that
never
is-
we never knew that we should
Yeah.
100%.
But I just heard from
and
there.
we're bargaining to get it on Spotify now. But it's a long process. There's internal strife over that. But
Oh well,
fine.
no, we never have
Hang
internal
on, can
strifes
someone
in the
else
Shingle Puppets. Anyway,
I really need the last.
alright,
Please,
cool.
could you
Yeah, I'll get Dr. Shingle on there.
Yeah,
Yeah, boy.
talk your mind.
Go on then.
Say what you say.
So what's up? All right. Yeah. So it will be very nice. And
What heavy metal music?
Joseph, what? This is Joseph Palmer. He lives at. I will give your address now. This is.
What's your social security number?
Yeah. This is Chris.
Yo, what's good, boys? I'm the computer guy, I guess.
Yeah, my man's the Google man. Joseph, what do you think of metal?
I don't really like it, to be honest.
Fuck off. Leave this house. Be gone.
Like, I don't like the really angry stuff, like what you guys were saying earlier about
Mm.
Slipknot and stuff. And then the other stuff I enjoy to some degree, but I wouldn't like actively look out, like search it out. I'm not really sure why that is.
I don't know. I mean, because I know you're into Weezer and stuff. No, I'm joking.
Yeah, I love Weezer's Van Weezer album, their metal album. I really think you'd enjoy that, Ty.
Bro,
You
did
know.
Weezer make a metal album? Are you fucking with me? I'm confused. I'm scared. I'm frightened. No, I mean, you like, who would you say is your favorite art? Like, what's your favorite shit right now? Because I don't know. Because I know you're into kind of that like, Peggy, Charlie XCX kind of stuff, and I don't. Is that industrial pop, industrial hip hop? I don't know.
That's like hyper pop, industrial hip hop. Just like I like experimental, like weird sounds. Where it's like I'm listening to it, I'm like, whoa.
Chris is trying to spud you. There we go.
Yeah.
That was weak.
But I think like the general reason why I don't like metal, it's probably to do with like how it's perceived. It's kind of like I feel like the Sigma dense metal where it's kind of lame. If you know what I mean?
Wait, really?
Yeah, no, I do.
Yeah.
What? Where it's like sweaty, fat.
So
white
I know
dudes
what
in
you
their
mean.
30s.
No, because that definitely does come into it. Again, with the whole generation.
Really? Is it lame?
Well, to some degree, yeah, because the whole generational thing. Because metal hasn't really had that massive one big band
Yeah, but that's what's
for
fucking
a
cool
very,
about
very long time. Yeah, but that's
Fuck
cool.
that shit.
That it's cool.
Why
It
do you
is
need a
cool,
big
but
band?
to wider audience. So we can talk about Maiden, but you know, you don't get the greatest connotations like coolness. But the point of
Maiden's
metal,
fucking sick, bro. I got Number in the Beast in there. It's fucking amazing. It's so good.
it is. I'm not debating that, but it's to wider audience. The fact is, once you, it's a very difficult thing. It's not very difficult, but it's a difficult thing to get into.
It is definitely. It took
It
me a
is,
long time.
and so it takes a while to really appreciate everything because it
It's
is
so worth
solely
it.
about the music. I think, especially in media now, how you present yourself, how you look, it plays a lot into your popularity. Correct?
Yeah.
And stuff like that. And the fact is, most of the older metal bands in general, a lot of them quite ugly motherfuckers. Although I would say
I think
Gojira.
it's true. No, but the lead singer,
Gojira.
Gojira. The lead singer
Gojira, oh
Gojira,
no,
yeah.
they're looking
Mario.
mighty fine.
But yeah, no, it's I
But it's
do
the
understand
older-
what you're saying.
It
Yeah.
is. It does.
No, but that's
make
fucking,
sense.
I feel like we live in such an irony-filled culture. I feel like, you know, that's metal's the kind of thing that would be like, you know, oh yeah, I want to fuck Bruce Dickinson. Like, you know, that's the kind of thing that would be like fucking blowing off.
No,
on
but it's
TikTok,
not.
you
It's
know what
not.
I mean?
It's not about how you look. It's about the music you make. the music speaks for itself. It's all about
Yeah.
the music. It doesn't matter, because we can all get up there, look like
cool.
absolute twats, but still play our songs, and as long as it sounds good and it speaks to people in a different way, it doesn't matter. It's like going to see Dream Theater, right?
Oh,
When I saw Dream Theater, James LeBron, terrible fucking singer, up there.
Is his name James LeBron?
Yeah, his name's James LeBron. His name's James LeBron.
That's so funny. What the fuck? Oh my days.
But they, yeah, like James LeBron, like, I mean, you know, they definitely do not like, because they're older people, they're like in their 40s.
They don't give a fuck
and stuff,
about
but they
what
don't
they
give
look
a-
like.
this- Trust me, John Petrucci, the guitarist right there, with his massive long bit, he is the sexiest man I've ever seen in my entire life. Now, that man knows how to keep a fucking beard. Like, oh, it's so glossy. I'm just like, just reminds me of Johnny. But, like, the fact, just, but it's like,
Johnny is a glossy man, to be fair.
but it's just, yeah, it's not about how you look. And I think there's a big emphasis on how you look, because most of the people who make it like don't look, you know, no offense, they're just normal people. They are normal, but it's a big emphasis on do it yourself, fuck everyone else, be you,
Yeah.
and that is the biggest. That's how you become successful in it. That's how you
Yeah.
become successful in general. Just do what you want to do, and don't feel constrained by what everyone else is doing.
See, that's I agree. I think one of the main things like about just like England in general, right? Like a lot of people in England, including myself, we're ugly motherfuckers, right?
Yeah.
Like it just is what it is, and that's the same any country in the world. That's how it is, right? But like, there's a difference in like English celebrity culture, where you can get people that like, I mean, maybe less now, more and more in the past. But I mean, just because we've been Americanized, but there's people that look fuck ugly, but the shit they do means that they can be like perceived as attractive, and you know,
Exactly.
it's like, you know, I mean, look at what's her name, Polystyrene from X-Ray Specs, right? You know, I know she's fucking amazing, she's incredible, but if you put her, just like slap a picture of Polystyrene, like, you know, there on the fucking screen, you're not gonna be like, whoa, you know.
Yeah.
And I know that's peak as fuck, but like, that's what I love about it, because it just means that it's like it's about the actual music.
Well, it's
'Cause
about
X-Ray Specs and Polystyrene were fucking amazing musicians,
just-
and they were fucking awesome.
Yeah, it's a big emphasis on being a normal person, which takes a lot to break into. Obviously, I mean, some of the most famous like acts as well, you know. I mean, like Metallica, they're not very attractive people. I mean, Lars Ulrich is just a shit drummer, and he looks like a fucking mole. But like, he's but,
A lot of
like,
hot takes.
He made. Sorry, I have a lot of opinions on this kind of thing.
No, it's
and I
nice.
like-
It's nice.
Who's the ugliest metal artist?
Oh well, I mean, I'm gonna put fucking Vince from fucking Motley Crue.
I'm not gonna lie.
Ronnie James Dio. Are you calling Ronnie James Dio ugly? Yes. No.
I'm gonna put Frederick Petey.
Oh.
No, that doesn't count 'cause he's not a metal
I've
artist.
lost my. Oh yeah, because I'm stuck with a shit band. No, I'm just.
Fred is a jazz, metal, fusion, experimental. Fred is a prog artist. Fred is a pop rock artist.
For fuck's sake. Oh.
Anyway, yeah, I'm saying Ronnie James Dio.
Ronnie James Dio. Ronnie James. Yeah,
No,
but with
I
that.
think, are we talking in terms of pure looks? Because
Pure
if we are, then
looks.
I'd put.
No.
If it was personality, then I'd
No,
say-
we're talking fucking no personality. The majority of metal artists are the loveliest people ever.
Yeah, they're amazing.
Marilyn Manson's a different story,
Marilyn Manson.
but he's just a weirdo, so it doesn't make a difference. And his music is a bit meh. Although his guitarist Johnny 05 is incredible, but it's still like, oh, Kai's
Look
brother.
at him.
Kai's brother. He's not ugly.
Wait, there's that one. There's the picture here. Look at that.
He's showing.
Look at him.
He's fine. He's like a 60-year-old man in that.
Sorry, I know I keep stealing the mic, but he does kind of look like the Sarah Mann's little fucking Weasley assistant from Lord of the Rings.
Oh,
He
but
looks like one of the California
no,
raisins.
no, no! Do not disgrace. Do not disgrace one of the greatest fucking
No, I love him.
singers ever.
I love him, bro. Honestly, that Dream Evil purchase, honestly, one of the best decisions I've ever made in my life. Not gonna lie.
I'm not gonna lie, but this is the thing. It covers down to the fact that their music is so amazing, and their
And
stage
he's
presence,
just
and
an
like,
amazing guy in general.
you know, he's like 5'4" as well. He's a tiny
Yeah.
guy as well. So was Randy Rhodes of who was Ozzy Osbourne's first guitarist for the Blizzard of Oz, and he did Crazy Train stuff like that. But he was like tiny and stuff like that. But like, it's the music speaks for
It's
them,
the
which
music.
is why it turns into a very family thing. It's a very nice thing. You go to a mess show and everyone's just nice, and everyone gets it because everyone's in it for, you know. It's
Well, there's
just-
always obviously there's like one. Or
Oh,
two
there's
punks
obviously
there.
a
There's
few
always gonna be
pricks.
that,
There's always,
you
but
know,
everywhere you go, you're gonna encounter some prick.
yeah.
But
But yeah, everyone is literally the community of metal is literally incredible.
it can. I mean, obviously, it's very gatekeeping because again, it is obviously
is.
a late
Yeah, I know.
underground kind of, which I think is
Yeah.
it's silly. But again, they are also there's plenty of older fans who are just like that because
They're old
stuck
and
with
shit,
it. They're
yeah.
just old. That's just normally how
No,
it
to
is.
be fair, when we went to Bosque, I was talking. I was outside in the smoking area. I was talking to some like millennial dudes, and I said it was into punk, and they were just kind of like, oh.
Yeah, but to be fair, I would have the same reaction.
Well, yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
fair-
you know, no,
exactly.
I would have
You're
the
a
same
prime example of this.
No, but I
bullshit.
would. Yeah, but that's punk. That's not.
It's about the
Also,
music.
I'm not a big fan of punk.
It's because metal fan and punk fans, they're just not. They're not.
It's because there's emphasis on very different things. It's
Yeah.
because every metal fan is just like, punk is just bullshit because you're not actually playing anything.
Yeah, but there's certain kinds of there's the emotions you get from punk are so different to the emotions you get from
Which is
metal.
respect. This is
And that's punk is about pure emotion.
yeah.
Which is why the difference is there because you know you get punk. When I listen to punk songs, there's this I don't know what it is, but there's the feeling of like it's like a heightened. I don't know what it is. I have no idea what it is, but it's a different feeling. It's nothing I've ever experienced before apart from punk. That's the only feeling that can elicit. That's the only thing that can elicit that feeling from me, and that's punk. But with metal, it's more about musicality, appreciating the music. It's about a lot of different things. But punk for me is that one emotion that like metal hasn't like. Metal's given me a lot of amazing emotions, but that one emotion.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe I'm just chatting shit on my arse and I don't understand it from like, you know, punks are going to be like, fuck off, bitch. But like,
No,
realistically,
no,
that is what I take away from
Not at all. Which I completely respect. It's just obviously when you try to be a musician and stuff like that and trying to appreciate the music at the same time, you go to metal
I do like
because
metal, to be fair.
there's a mass
make
again
sense.
as I've said, there's a massive emphasis on technical prowess
Yeah, that's what it's about.
in metal. Well, then what I wanted to get into was new metal.
Alright,
New metal. So the whole thing, which is another massive form of commercialized metal,
Yeah.
similar to glam metal, but arguably bigger. It was angrier, and it obviously spoke to kids of the 90s and kids now. System of a
Yeah.
Down is a fucking brilliant band, and they have made,
Down are good.
and they're very, very talented. But I mean, bit questionable, yeah.
I mean, maybe just because
it's just Linkin Park.
I'm one generation up, so I feel like, you know, it's like, you know, with generational, it's like you get one generation, then the next generation, and then the next generation likes the second part.
Well, it's what your parents
It's
show
like
you, or
that
whatever,
kind of
what
thing.
you get into.
I find that kind of dated and a bit like, you know, I mean, I do
Well,
like
because it's
my
all very,
fair share
it's
of new
very
metal,
early
which
2000s
is like
kind of
too
stuff.
early. That's like when I was born, you know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like I was born in 2004. It's like, you know, oh, it's been an hour. She.
We've been talking about this for ages.
Wow, you guys must be so
Or
bored.
how long? How long has it
Oh, yeah.
been recording? Oh Jesus! Oh fucking hell!
Hey,
No,
Fred.
but there's so
No,
but
Fred.
there's so many things we could talk.
Let's do a little wrap up in like
4 minutes.
no 4 minutes. No, we can go. Yeah, all right, go on. All right, new metal. What are you saying?
No matter because it's because new metal is because obviously it's a blend between hip hop and metal. And the first band to actually do that was Anthrax with Bring the Noise, and basically they did a whole thing with Public Enemy.
Really?
They went on tour with Public Enemy, and the last song.
That's
So
sick.
Public Enemy used to open for them, and then at the very last song, would they do Bring the Noise together, basically, right?
That's
Which is a
fucking
great
sick.
song, and they open. No one else, because rap in itself has plenty of anger in it, and it's also got plenty of technicality in it, which is very different to metal. But it's in there, and there's plenty of emotions in it, and they blended it for the first time. That was the first kind of roots, and then you get Korn, which was the first heavy, very bass driven, a bit like hip hop as well, very heavily bass driven, kind of sonically music down tuned to whatever, how low your guitar would go without breaking it, with strings everywhere, and just that was about the anger. That new metal itself was about the anger. You get Linkin Park and stuff like that.
It's pure
I hate
just
Linkin
angst.
Park, but I like Linkin Park at the same
I
time.
can't like. Look,
Like-
I know they're terrible, but I do like Linkin Park. Huh? Oh shit! Sorry, I might have been very quiet.
Yeah,
I hope
maybe.
because I was way too loud last time.
No,
So it evens out, right?
no, but Linkin Park, but they like, I listen to them, I'm just like, these guys are lazy as fuck. But they
No,
so
but their
maybe,
songwriting, like, it just captures that
it
point
just
in time.
hits.
It's just,
It is that.
it's
Well,
just bad,
we're
but
talking
it's
about
like-
like Meteor-esque, like first few albums of Linkin Park. We're not talking about the later stuff, which is where they just became
yeah, I don't
pop,
even listen to that.
which
kind of
is
stuff.
just
Yeah, no,
all
it's,
bullshit.
it's
So
like,
you got
you know,
Catalyst
like
and
the
stuff like that. It's a bit.
what,
meh.
Bleed Out and Numb and stuff like
Well,
that.
that's like the oldie
Yeah.
oldie Linkin Park, which was just purely fueled by
Just fucking
aggression
Chester, you know. doing
Chester,
his thing.
amazing
I fucking
vocalist.
if Chester was in a metal band, I think he would have done quite well. I don't think he would have done quite well in the scene, but I think like genuinely the music he would have made would have been very good.
But I mean, generally, new metal is just completely written off by critics, and it's just like
No, but I don't.
bullshit and
I
stuff like.
fucking hate critics.
I know
I'm
you
not
hate
gonna lie,
critics.
I
We're
hate
not gonna
critics.
get into that,
Fuck
but we can
critics,
talk about
man.
critics at some other
Sorry,
point. but-
I fucking hate critics. Everyone knows this. Fuck them, man.
But I can
Make
see
your own
why,
opinion.
because it was a big mix of big bullshit, but it was a very interesting mix of
It is interesting.
hip-hop
It's
and
an interesting sound.
metal. I think it's
Yeah.
really cool, and I think it breathed a whole level of coolness
Well, yeah, like Rage.
into
Rage
it.
is
Rage Against the Machine,
yeah.
of like Rage Against the Machine, but that's like that's a proper blend.
Yeah, that's
of
like
hip hop and metal,
that's
because
like
it's actual
50-50
rap.
split,
It's
like,
it's rap
that's-
vocals from a decent rap. Zach De La Roche, he's pretty good. Has a solo work. He's not bad, but it's like they really, and Tom Morello himself.
because they're quite famous now.
Well, they're
I'd
very.
say.
Well, they've always been very, very famous.
Well, yeah,
That's the
yeah.
thing, and they're just. They've always been very cool. They are just quite cool. Even in
I
the.
don't find them that cool. I like them.
Well, I don't find them very cool now when I listen to them. But they were another instance of another band that I found quite difficult to get into because of their heavier sound. And then I found,
I find them very, very easy to get
Killing
into.
in
were
the
light for me.
Name. Killing in the Name was like, but I just thought I found Killing in the Name quite a boring song, and I listened to it all the way, and I was like, oh no, you know, it's not bad. It's
No,
actually
give me
quite.
a good song. Yeah.
It's like it was just hard to get into, but you know.
No, we came at it from different angles.
Yeah, we did.
You know, I'm glad because it gave me time to appreciate the classics and understand the chronology of metal, in a sense that like I came in a different way from the building blocks upwards. I just fucking went through it all down to the foundation.
Yeah.
It was really interesting, like just for my exploration.
We
of
haven't
it.
even breached like like Opeth or anything like that, or
God.
like anything
Yeah.
prog.
Yeah,
This is
no.
the most surface level shit you'll.
I said
probably
Tool
ever-
once.
Yeah, like this is the most like fucking Hacken who did a song like about fucking cockroaches.
Oh wait, can I say something about Leonardo?
Yeah, all right.
Not gonna lie, hot take. Leonardo, I listened to some of their albums. It reminded me of Imagine Dragons.
Honestly, my sister came down and was just like, "This is like the step up from Panic in the Disco," and I was like, "I can kind of see it now," but just because they have that. Oh, I hate
I
to
don't know.
say-
It's,
they
it's
have
peak,
that. They
but it's
have,
true.
They have the fucking vibe of that bullshit, and I don't like it. But they're good.
No. I do like them. I think some
But
of
they
the
do.
stuff
They
do
do
is
have
good.
the vibe. Of
The
that
new album's
edgy
very
to-
good. I like that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still kind of,
No,
yeah,
but
I do like
very
it. Yeah.
interesting songs. But that's them trying to blend with more modern styles
Yeah.
whilst retaining that level of heaviness.
What are you
What are you gonna say, Joseph?
Well, Zero Leonardo, it's like in like putting modern bits in, but it's really about blending old, like African,
and
neo,
Scandinavian.
yeah, like songs which slaves would sing on like as like protest songs about religion and stuff.
Yeah.
And blending that with Satanism.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I find cool about it.
That's the really
That's-
interesting thing.
No,
No.
see, like I remember you told me that, and I was like, okay, yeah, that's really cool. I think that's a really cool concept, and you know, some of the songs I feel like they deliver on that kind of front, and all of the songs that like that have those themes running through it. But I think I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's his vocals or I don't know if it's like what they play, but I don't know.
Well, it's
It
a
just-
fusion of black metal.
It just for me it
With-
feels like bassy and
Well, that
with like I don't know, yeah, because I guess it is bassy with uplifting like melodies, which I guess is
well,
a mix of-
it's all the harmonies.
yeah, which is what you can.
It's the very
yeah.
spiritualistic
I mean, it makes
harmonies.
sense, and I mean, obviously, it's significantly better than like Imagine Dragons and Panic at the Disco, but like,
But that's not high bar.
it's not a high bar.
That's-
No, I do like Panic at the Disco.
Obviously,
I got
you piece
because
of
I
shit.
listened to them when I was like, 14. It is
No,
what
I've
it is,
never.
man.
No, we can't talk about emo. We need a whole couple of episodes about music because I can.
Yeah,
talk
I'm
about,
down to do music.
I can
yeah.
just talk about it for fucking
Yeah,
years.
we always talk about.
But
music.
this because it's so interesting, and the fact is like metal for me. This is the rounding off point. Metal
Yeah,
for me
right.
is like it brings me playing music and writing songs and just being that just gives me so much unimaginable joy. Like I just dance in my kitchen for hours because it speaks to me in such a way that nothing else, no one else ever will be able to do, and metal is the outlet for me. As much as I love to try and get into everyone else around me, like their kind of music and understanding and appreciating. That's why I don't like. I try not to come off as an absolute twat about it all, but it's like that is the thing that really, really, really hits me. And there's so many bands and so many things that I can take from it, and it's something that will stick with me for life.
Well,
And
yeah,
it
I
won't.
mean-
It's something. That's why you have such long generation. That's why it's been around for such a long time. Is the fact is, it's something that stands the test of time, and I think that's one of the most respectable parts about it. It draws you in, and you never leave.
It's definitely
That's the
true.
point.
I mean, you know, I know Fred, you are metal to a T. That is like you that is your essence, right? You know what I mean? I do feel like a bit of an outsider sometimes. I do enjoy the music, but I'm not part of the culture, which I appreciate.
But
I
I
don't
wouldn't
wanna be
say
part of the
I'm
culture or
necessarily
anything
part
like
of the
that.
culture, but it's the family feeling. That's what
Yeah.
I feel
See,
when
I
I'm in
don't-
that.
I don't get that. I just like the music, but like I do understand. You know, it's true, and I think it is fucking incredible stuff. And you know, realistically, Tungsten bangs.
And I can't lie, fucking steel is elite. So on that point, we're probably going to make so many more episodes about this because we can talk. We've talked absolute shit for an hour and a bit. But honestly, we could just know we can talk about this for fucking hours, and it brings us both a lot of fucking joy.
Johnny is definitely not going to listen to this one.
Yeah, and I don't expect him to, because the point is, it's for us, and
Yeah,
metal
definitely.
is for the people, and that's the
Facts.
point.
Anyway, the outro theme, hit him with a.
Psychosocial.
Cool. All right.
some
Yeah.
juice.
Don't get it in your eye.
I think me and Lucy are gonna go.
Are you?
Yeah.
Where's Frankie?